We can look cute for about 5 seconds. All righty, y'all. I am happy to be back in this season, in this time. This is Naughty by Nature. I'm excited with the Wellness Plug TV, and where we introduce entrepreneurs to let them show you their glamorous stories about their health journeys and their experiences, as well as their businesses, because that's what we're here for. We want to share our stories and our businesses with you so you can get more out of who we are and what we do. So I'm going to let Miss Jen introduce her beautiful self. Hey, Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. It's nice to be here and to talk with you, my new and amazing friend.
Hey, beautiful. So Jen is here today because she has a great wellness company, y'all. So I want her to tell us all the good stuff of how it started, how she even came about with this journey and this dream. Because a lot of us, we have stories and dreams and everything, but we don't know where to start, how to start. And not only did she start a business, but she started a lifestyle. So I'm gonna let y'all get into that.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have been trying to take care of myself in the best way that I could since I was 12 years old. I had fallen on a house antenna when I was a small child, and it caused a lot of damage to my back and my gut. But at the time, hospitals don't consider those things. It's hard for hospitals to consider them now these days, but it was really difficult then. And so I was actually, by the time I was 12, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, and irritable bowel disease. They were putting me on a lot of different medications, and they were actually just like passively threatening to remove a part of my colon so that I didn't end up with dead gut, which is not awesome. Don't Google it. It's just not awesome. So my parents thought that was a little excessive to have to remove a whole part of my body to save my life. So they actually brought me to a chiropractor, and it completely changed the trajectory of my life. With 3 adjustments, all of my symptoms went away, and I started my journey. So I got a pre-med bachelor's degree, and then I went to chiropractic school. And while I was at chiropractic school, I learned specialized kinesiology, and I kind of fell out of love with chiropractic. I still very much respect it. I have a chiropractor myself, but that just wasn't part of my journey. And so I left chiropractic school and became a full-time kinesiologist. And kinesiology is muscle testing. So you use the body as ways to find out what's going on with the body and best ways to correct them. And I ate it up. I loved it. That was like my thing. But it was really hard to convince people to get on the table as a kinesiologist. So I became a massage therapist, because when you're a massage therapist,
you automatically goes into it.
Yes, exactly.
Tell me about it. Exactly. So I'm going to take you back. I'm going to take them back. Starting out as a young person that had an issue, and even thinking about something like that for our kids, it's scary. So on that side as a child, what was going on in your mind then? Because I know you seen your parents stressed out and kind of weary.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Oh man, it was pretty terrifying. I mean, I had a pretty traumatic experience with a colonoscopy. I woke up in the middle of it. So that was definitely some sexual trauma. Like I've recently discovered that my body kind of embodied that as a sexual trauma. And that's one of the reasons that I was holding on to so much weight. And so being able to find that trauma and release that trauma has been especially healing for me in my journey. But it was scary because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand what was happening. I really wanted to understand. I wanted to be a doctor from the time I was 6 years old. So I always tried to understand the stuff that the doctors were saying. But, when they were just flippantly talking about major surgery and removing some of my colon, I had no idea what to do. So when my parents were like, let's try this, I was just like, yup, let's do it.
Right. So from there, could you tell a difference in like your body, growing up? Because I know you said you were how old when this happened?
I was 5 years old when I fell in the house antenna.
Wow.
And then by the time I was 8 or 9, I started having really severe like gut problems.
Gotcha.
And it just progressed from there. And then I was diagnosed when I was 12.
Gotcha. Okay, so that takes me through the story. Now I get why you're so adamant about the change. I get it. So people don't realize that starting as an adolescent or young adult or kid, that you can start health issues and concerns there. It can come from traumatic issues like yours, but some of those things are, I don't use the word hereditary because we can change those things if we want to. And she's gonna tell y'all more about that too. I love it. I love it. And you have the decision to change those things. So fast forward now. We want to know about the great Jen. What you have going on?
So when I got all of my certificates, I kept going, and I was working full time. And I also went back to school for nutritional health coaching. And then I went back to school for mental health counseling. And so I'm doing all of those things at my brick and mortar establishment here in Holbrook, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And so I do massage, kinesiology. I have a specific nutritional program that I put myself on in November. This is the journey that you talked about minutes ago. I realized that I've been helping people for 13 years and not effectively helping myself. And I've lost 400 pounds and then gained it all back again over the course of the past 20 years of my life, and knew that there was just a reason that it wasn't sticking. And so then I found this program. It's called Shape Reclaimed. I offer it at my office now. And from November to March 30th, I was able to shed 100 pounds. I got rid of long COVID. I got rid of diabetes. I got rid of high blood pressure. I got rid of all the chronic pain that I had. And once the chiropractor fixed the gut issues, the gastroenterologist dismissed all of the symptoms that I had previously and chalked it up to a severe case of irritable bowel syndrome. So I have, like, when I'm not eating my best, I have flare-ups of irritable bowel syndrome, and that's completely gone now. I had GERD, and that's completely gone now. So all of that was able to be released over those 5 months. And then I hit a brick wall when I lost that 100 pounds, and all of that, like, emotional trauma kind of like came through. It was like, okay, you've been hiding and ignoring this in these 100 pounds. So now that you've lost this, it's time to pick up these pieces. And so I've been doing that emotional journey from March until now. And I have another program called Self Reclaimed that I'm going to be offering to people starting in November that I'm doing now. That's helped me to get back on track, because I do ultimately want to lose another whole 100 pounds.
Do you hear me? Okay, so what I'm loving about the story is that you took us just down, I mean, everything that needs to be said, physical, emotional, mentally. You took us down the stairs, because my thing is that everybody thinks it's a quick fix, and they don't realize that those things take years to come on, right? And when they come on, we want it to be gone fast and immediately. But we don't go to the root cause as to how these things came about, and we're not realistic about it. So that's when it takes us through that roller coaster, and you have to redefine it and come back. And what I like about it, guys, that she said shed, and y'all know that the name of my company is the Shed Away Plan, because she had to shed those things emotionally, mentally, physically, these things that's going on with her body, was able to take her not only to build more into her business, but to help her along the way. So I am so excited to hear about. Now we know a little bit about the business. Now let's tell us about what's going on in Jen's body now. I know Jen's body is released from all this extra stress. I bet, totally.
Oh yeah, it's been revolutionary. I mean, being able to get rid of all of those diagnoses so that I just get to be Jen is amazing, because I went through a really intense experience when I originally got those diagnoses when I was a child. And all of the doctors had, preconceived notions and plans, and all of them wanted me to lose weight. And because I've always been like a heftier person, and they all just like made excuses like, oh, the reason that you have problems is because you have extra weight. So then I would go on crazy diets from the time that I was 8 years old to try to make that better. And it never worked. And so then I tried to put my faith back in the medical community last year before November, because I was not in a safe space. And I tried medications. They diagnosed me with ADHD, and I was allergic to Adderall. Like, they put me on 2 different high blood pressure medications that did not work. One of them I was also allergic to. So it was like just brick wall, brick wall, brick wall, brick wall. And just God was just saying, you know, Jen, it's time to practice what you preach and do what you tell all of your people to do.
And come up with your own plan. Everybody has different results for different things. Just like you said, you were allergic to those things. Normally, they would put a person like that on, you know, those type of medication. And it would work. It would work. But I like the fact that, you know, you thought about it. Okay, look, I'm a customized lady. I'm a special person. So you're going to have to handle me lightly when it comes down to my health, because most of those chemicals anyway cause even worse imbalance. We try to fix a problem and come out with a different problem, you know? So yeah, we want to know what's the root cause. And I'm glad that you had to go and say, hey, let me hit my head a few times and learn, because we do want to depend on doctors, and because that's what they do. That's what we want, you know. Yeah, our expectations are for them to give us the answers.
Yes.
Especially when we need the results immediately, right?
Yes. And I was grateful for it. I got all the blood tests and all this stuff to tell me what was wrong. And then a year later, I went back to my PCP and she's like, what happened? And I was like, oh, I just took my own good advice. And so she took all my numbers again, and she's like, everything's great. Like, everything looks great. You're doing a good job. And I was like,
did she ask you, what did you do? Because a lot of doctors now lately, because they're not taught anything holistically, and they're not taught the anatomy seriously about the body. I remember I was talking to someone who does massage therapy like you. They didn't know the kinesiology part. They didn't know the lymphatic part, because they go fast with those things that seems not to be important, just to get you to get that certification or that license so you can start working immediately. I don't want nobody to surgically do anything with me immediately. I want you to have some kind of knowledge of who I am and my background before you touch me. My body is not like somebody else's body. The organs are supposed to be in certain places for everybody, but what if something's different that we're not familiarized with? I want you to go and study, you know, more about this, just like we have to study about ourselves. And I tell people majority of the time, even before I say clients, I tell them all the time that I don't know you more than you. So you're going to have to share you with me in order for me to help you, because we know ourselves way better than anybody else. We know what to do a lot of the times way faster and better than other people know how to help us, but we don't try to get to the root cause and help ourselves.
Yes, that's why I love you so much and why I wanted to be on your podcast, because you're always about empowering your people. It's like, no, you know you. We just need to give you the tools. Like, do you need some oils? What do you need?
Yeah, and the thing is just to put it together. Like she said, guys, like a plan, you know, not only just the one plan that she had, but she have two different plans to even look more deeper into yourself and your self-care. We want to assess those things. The assessments come with results all the time. Any test that we've ever had, even from kindergarten forward, it was to test the knowledge to see what needs to be taken out or enhanced, or, you know, like to be helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, so I'm excited. So she haven't told y'all about the business yet. So she told y'all what she's got in the business and everything, but I want her to tell us how she got this brick and mortar started.
Oh, okay. So it was a little bit kicking and screaming, honestly. I've always had my own business.
Awesome.
Since I started kinesiology, I just like put up a shingle and started working. And the name has transformed a few times, but it's been Heart of Peace Wellness since I moved back to Massachusetts from Illinois 7.5 years ago. Okay. And I've been working in different places. I worked in a chiropractor's office for a while as Heart of Peace. I worked at a salon called Stilettos right down the street. And they gave me like a really good opportunity. It was like a huge room and they were really fair about the prices. And the owner of the shop was absolutely amazing. And she was always afraid I was going to leave because like the clients would always say like, she's a healer. Like this is medical. Like this is magical. Like she's amazing. And she's like, why are you in a hair salon? Like, why are you here? When are you leaving me? And I was like, I'm never leaving. This is a really good setup for me. Like, I'm fine. And then she sold the business. So I was like, oh, what the heck? It was supposed to be ride or die. Like, what the heck? Yeah. And she was like, no, it's time. You need to You need to.
Gotcha. So you said you are a healer, and they asked you what were you doing there at the hair salon. What I've learned is that most of our services as providers, we are healers. All of us are like literally hairstylists. You get in that chair, what do? Start talking about your life.
Yes.
They turn into your counselors. Everywhere we go, you go get your nails done. They ask how your day. You start venting. If I've seen people go to a bar that they just start venting to the waitress, and so I feel as though exactly. So I feel as though every line service that people provide, they don't realize that that's what they're doing. It's not the job that matters. It's not how pretty my hair come out to be, because some beauticians don't know how to do hair really good. And I've been to them. My hair was messed up and I came out looking crazy. And it was the love that I have for them, the respect that I have for them, and what they were offering me internally. So these things that we offer to people, kinesiology, chiropractic, health and, wellness, these are services to heal.
Yeah.
And that's it, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're all here for. We're all here for that journey, because we all get broken and bruised along the way. And it's a matter of finding the right thing that will heal that for us.
That's right. And that's why I'm so excited when I talk to you to ask you about your business. And I was so excited that you have a full-blown company that's catering to people where they have somewhere to go, besides the doctor's office, right? So just to get people in, and this is education for them, Jen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm very passionate about education. My mom said from the time I was little that I was a teacher, because I was just able to like chunk things down and make them easier for people to understand. So I'm actually a certified instructor for the Touch for Health Kinesiology Association. So I actually teach continuing education for nurses, acupuncturists, and massage therapists too. So yeah, it is the foundation of everything, because when people understand what's going on with their body, it's easier to help them make the best choices for themselves. I can't tell you how many people I hear like, "Oh, I'm lactose intolerant, but I'm still going to eat ice cream." It's like, what, why? What?
It becomes scary. It becomes scary. And I have a client now that her stomach stays swollen because of that. And the thing is she knows. She knows. And it's just, oh, well, I just had this one time or a few times. And eventually what happens is when those things get locked up, because eventually they can and they will get locked up into either the cells or the lymphatic system or somewhere to where it won't be able to filter anymore.
Oh yeah, that's when your body starts chimneying from everywhere else. That's why adults have acne, and why people are taking Miralax every day just to be able to use the bathroom, and why they're bleeding when they're peeing, and all that crazy stuff that they're like, "Oh, I need an intervention now." But unfortunately, the medical doctors are just like, "Oh yeah, we have medication for that." And it's like, okay, but what's the root cause? Like, why is this actually happening? What kind of inflammation have you put in your body over all these years that you don't know is there, that's causing the real problem?
And the real problem is what you guys need to get to. That's the part. That's the issue, and that's why we're here at the Wellness Plug, because we're plugging you into people like Jen that get you noticed and understand what it is, and get you the education that you need behind it. Because at the end of the day, we can do our work and not even share the details as to why we're doing this program or customizing for them, right? But it's more so to get you more familiarized with what your body is used to and what it don't have to take, because eventually you're putting so much pressure onto your body. That's the only thing you have to work for yourself. Like, and I want my body to continue to work for me for at least another 50 more years. I want it to work for me at least another 50 more years. And I'm talking about health. I want to be mentally stable, physically stable. Of course, financials come with it. And that's one of the big things that I try to talk more into with the clients now, because eventually your health will come between this wealth that you're looking for.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to. I was listening to a presentation from Dr. I think his name is Organthop. He's the lead scientist for a company called doTERRA. And he's working a lot with telomeres, which are like the end points of the genes that help to keep our DNA moving functionally. And the telomeres are the reason that we age and die, because they get shorter and shorter and shorter as those cells replicate. And so he's talking about how NAC is like the biggest like supplement right now that's so beneficial to that, so that we can have a healthy quality of life until those telomeres are done, and then we can just go to sleep and be done with our life, instead of having like years and
trauma
of
complications. Exactly.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. So
and the main complications that I've been seeing, the main complications that I've been seeing, I'm not sure if you've seen it, is more so heart issues. Even because I'm a gut therapist, that's what I study, the gut, and I love the gut. But everything from the gut flows through the entire body. It tells us, what's off. If you have high yeast levels, you have high cholesterol, if you have all these high things, and then it messes up the function of the body, and the reason why it's called the core, guy, because it's in the middle of your body. That means it's going to shift everything, for you. Right.
Oh, it's so interesting hearing different modalities, especially in the medical world. Like you have like the neurologists that are like, oh, it's top down, it's top down. And then you have like podiatrists that are like, no, it's bottom up, it's bottom up. And it's like, no, guys, it's the middle.
It's the middle. But it makes sense. It even, says it biblically, like, most of those things shift from the hip, if you know what I mean. So we don't even think that's realistic. We just go bypass that because we feel as though the other things will take, parts. At the end of the day, you can exercise all you like. And I'm pretty sure you can attest to this. Depending on what you eat is going to determine the longevity of your life and your lifestyle.
Absolutely. And I've tried the mindset and the mindful eating and like that big movement on food safety and stuff, because when people have a lot of complex issues like I have had with food, it can make people really scared to eat, and that can cause a lot of like eating disorders and things like that. So I always try to toe that line to honor that, there's no bad foods.
That's right.
But
no diets, no bad foods. Right.
Foods that can affect you.
There are foods that are just not for you.
Yeah. Well, like processed foods that are made primarily of chemicals, that's not food. That's not sustenance. That doesn't treat our body well. So like when people say, oh, there's no such thing as bad food. If I want this, this McDonald's something or other, like that's totally fine to have. It's like, no, like if you look at that, like it does not go bad. Like I have a chiropractor friend named Marcia Schaefer. She's out in Michigan. She's amazing. She has a Happy Meal from McDonald's in her office that she got 12 years ago when she opened her business. And it still looks exactly the same as the day she got it.
Wow. And I believe you.
Yeah, that right there tells you everything you need to know about that. It's not food. That is an adorable display. That is not sustenance.
An adorable display. I love it. And really nothing's adorable about it. It's just the fact that we're so familiarized with names. And I think that's where we get stuck into names, and we want to make sure that people know that we're eating. When I say the word Shalaskis, a lot of people don't know, about Shalaskis. When I say stuff about, what is the other one? McAllister, nobody really knows about Mac. But if I say Subway.
Yeah, people know it. And it counts because they have lettuce, right?
Right. And it does not count. And that's one of the big things that I try to wave my clients off the lettuce. And we'll talk about that another day, Jim. But that's like a whole entire different story, because I don't believe in diets. I'm just like you. I don't tell you what's bad foods or what not to eat, but I try to implement new things to you. So you can, feel the difference. You can feel that the fruits are giving you hydration. You can feel that the greens and the vegetables are giving you, cell energy,
Yeah.
that's what I want, to bring back. I don't want you to be scared to eat, like you said, and start a whole nother, you know, thing that's going on in your mind that's taking a toll on your body. We want you to live life fully, Yeah, you're gonna probably pop a snack in a pack, every once in a while. Maybe dip in some Brums ice cream, here or there. But we want you to continue this thing as a lifestyle journey. Crave those fruits and vegetables naturally, so you won't have these long issues.
Absolutely.
So I know that you guys changed everything in the household. You mentioned to me before about the kiddos and stuff like that. And that's what they need to hear. They need to hear, because we heard about, you being a child, and it felt in your mind that you had to be on a diet or something like that. But now she don't live like that, you guys. Like, even for her kids, they know. They know
Yeah.
now.
So my kids are my 6-year-old and my husband, who's definitely one of my kiddos. So he's actually a lot more difficult than my 6-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just started with me. Like in November, I started eating better and stuff. And then in December, when I was getting ready to roll out Shape Reclaimed for my clients, I was talking to the owner of Shape Reclaimed, and I came in the house still on the phone, and he just like needed my attention. So I needed to distract him. So I squatted down on the ground, and I had him get on my back, and I just walked around and piggybacked for the 10 minutes on my phone.
Gotcha.
I didn't have back pain. I didn't run out of breath. I was able to maintain my conversation. And it hadn't occurred to me that I think I was like 45 pounds down by that point. I was like, I just finished the conversation, and then I was like, all right, I'm done. And I threw him on the couch, and he goes, Mom, your diet is making you so strong.
So much energy.
That too. And I was like, yeah. And so in January, I started him on the drops too. And I've just been kind of tweaking his diet and giving him healthier options before he goes for the sweet, delicious stuff. And it's completely changed his life. He has severe allergies, including anaphylactic allergies. And 1 month into the program, all of his environmental allergies just disappeared. He has no more signs of allergies, and we're going to go to the allergist next month and see if his anaphylactic allergies are gone, because they probably are. Yeah.
Yes, that is so exciting. And then this is the good part, guys. Like, you haven't went to the allergist first. You took the initiative. You took that action, and you put it into place. You didn't say, "Oh, well, let's wait to see what they say." You knew what the issues were. Took the knowledge that you have, put the action plan. Now you're saying, hey, we're going to go and see what they say now. We're going to see what they list off and say if it's still there or not. Now, what I like about life and it expectancy, right? That sometimes we'll go from having allergies, wake up, you don't even have those things no more when you become an adult. These things just change, and which is good for us, because we get to go through those phases, because we know that the cells renew, so often anyway. So it's just kind of helpful. So I'm glad, little man, he not only knew that Mom was getting him, he was like, look, you got more energy than me. Yeah. I'm gonna need some of that, whatever you got going on. And I think that's what we want to live for. It's not even if they don't have kids out there, you want to live to have more energy so you can do those things. Like, you might want to start traveling, but you may not have the energy to go and do so all the time, even though you might be in the gym and you might eat right. You might not sleep well. You might not be getting the things that are causing your body's disruptions or deficiencies. We want to keep all those things intact. So Jen is going to close out and tell us the name of her business again, where she's located, and see if she can give us a word of wisdom, even if it's for entrepreneurs or if it's just through wellness itself.
Yes. So I'm Heart of Peace Wellness in Holbrook, Massachusetts. I offer Shape Reclaimed right now, and it's long distance or in person. I send you everything that you need to get started. Self Reclaimed is also going to be long distance or in person, and that's starting October 2nd. And I do the dang thing is my thing. Do the dang thing. If you have something on your heart to make people better, just do it. If you have something on your heart that you know that you need to do to make you better, just do it.
Do you hear her? Just do it. Like Nike. Right? Keep going and keep it going. Okay, guys. Well, that is Jen for you for today. I'm so excited to have her on. We might have to bring her back on because we want to hear more about this journey of hers. That's exciting to me. And I am Naughty by Nature with the Wellness Plug TV. I am your wellness lifestyle strategist and your speaker. I come to you on a regular basis. I want you to check out nadiabynature.com to see all the service that we provide, and also follow everything that Jen said. I don't know if she's on Facebook and Instagram. Are you on Facebook and Instagram? So we want you to follow her and give her a shout out and tell her how great of an interview she had today. And thank you again for having you on, and have a good day, y'all.
Yes, bye.